Okay, this week we're going to learn the dinim of Tainis Ester, Parsha, Zachar, and Purim. So just in the order of the events this year, because Purim is Sunday, so Tainis Ester normally, which is Erev Purim, this year it can't be Shabbos. Shabbos you're not allowed to fast. So once you push it off already, you don't make a fast on Friday, unless if it falls out on Friday, like Asar B'Tevis. It's only fast it could fall out on Friday. So we push it up to Thursday. Now it's called Tainis Ester. We learned already in the past. Why is it called Tainis Ester? Because some people say the reason because Esther told Mordechai, gather the Jews and fast for 3 days and 3 nights, and then I'm going to go meet Achashverosh. The only problem with that is that took place right Pesach time. In fact, they fasted on the first day of Pesach. Okay, so there can be the reason why Erev Purim is the fast. So in Kitzur it's brought down that there was a din, like we find in halacha, that when Jews went to war, and he said, we learn it out from the story of Amalek, Moshe Aaron Ochur over there. So it says that the din was that the people, when the Jews went to war, the people that stayed at home fasted. Why? To daven for the people that were fighting. So therefore, Mistamed, they write, because 13th was the day there was a battle against the Jews in the days of Haman, right? The 13th, 4th. So therefore, we fast under the remembrance of that went on in the time of the Megillah. But again, this year it would be Thursday because we can't fast out of Purim. But the Rebbe adds another interesting just concept of why it's called Tainis Ester. Why isn't it called Tainis Ester? Whatever. Somebody else also. So the Rebbe explains, because the din was, that same din says, that the soldiers that went to war were not allowed to fast. They needed koach, they needed strength to fight. They were not allowed to fast. So because in the time of Purim, the decree was against every single Jew, men, women, and child. The Rebbe writes, there was only one person that was safe that didn't have to fight. And that was Esther in the palace. So the other one that ended up fasting for all the Jews was Esther. So therefore it's called Tainis Ester, because all the other Jews, the Gzeira was against them. They were not allowed to fast. They had to fight. The only one that was able to fast was Esther. Okay? So again, Tainis Ester begins in the morning until after Ma'ariv. Now in the morning you have Tachon, you have Sliches, you have Avinu Malkeinu, just the regular, the Torah reading by Yichal and so on. In the afternoon before Mincha, there are different customs, but our custom, not only our custom, a lot of poskim write that we give machzas a shekel, the half a shekel, normally you give it out of Purim. But this year we give it, some people say no, if the fast is Thursday, you give it on Purim. But our custom is that we give machzas a shekel on Mincha, before Mincha, on Thursday, on Tainis Ester. If you didn't give it then, you can give it before the Megillah reading in the morning, at night, whenever, you can give the machzas a shekel then. But our time officially, if you're giving machzas a shekel, is before Mincha. Now another interesting thing is, normally, Tainis Ester at Mincha, you don't say Tachnun, and therefore you don't say Avinu Malkeinu, because it's out of Purim. Usually it's out of Purim. So Mincha already, you don't say Tachnun. If you don't say Tachnun, you don't say Avinu Malkeinu. But this year, that Thursday is the fast, so it's not Erev Purim. So this year, Tainis Ester at Mincha, we say Tachnun and Avinu Malkeinu, which is different than most Tainis Esters when it doesn't fall out on Friday. Now this fast, by the way, just halachically, is an easier fast than all the other fasts. Because this is the only fast that's not mentioned clearly in Tanakh that you have to fast. All the other fasts are mentioned clearly in the Vim, that you have to fast. This is a Zachar to what Esther said, but Esther, again, the Esther 3-day fast was Pesach time, not Tainis Ester. So halachically, it's an easy fast, generally speaking. Especially this year, it's not even on the official day, it's called Nitcha, it's pushed up. So then, for sure, it's halachically an easier fast. But that doesn't mean that men don't have to fast. I mean, you have to fast. It's just easy as far as pregnant women, nursing women, people that have a problem fasting. I mean, there's much more leniencies. In fact, according to halacha, there's an interesting thing. If somebody has a bris, let's say a Tainis Ester, So because it's a nidcha, they hold that the sandik and the father of the baby and the male don't have to fast. But again, our minig is that we do fast for the rest of the day anyway. But that's the interesting thing about Tainus Ester. What?
They can drink the wine, or
You can give it to the baby. Or if the mother's not fasting, give it to the mother. The mother's obviously not fasting.
You can give it to a child also.
Give it to a child, you can give it, yeah. That's not a big thing. Okay, that's as far as Tainus Ester goes. We say Tainus, okay. Now, this Shabbos is Parsha Zachar. Parsha Zachar is of the four Parshias that we have Shkolim, Zachar, Parsha, and Chodesh. Parsha Chodesh. So everybody holds that Parsha Zachar is min HaTorah. It's a biblical obligation. Parsha Shkolim and Parsha Chodesh is definitely midrabanan. Parsha Parsha is a machlekes in halacha if it's min HaTorah or midrabanan. The Alter Rebbe in Hilchos Shabbos says the Parsha Parsha is also midrabanan. So according to the Alter Rebbe and most poskim, the only Parsha which is mandatory is Parsha Zachar. Now even that is questionable. What is the biblical mitzvah? Is it mamish to read it out of the Torah? And could you read it out of a chumash? And can you do it different times of the year? Whatever. But the bottom line is, this Shabbos is a biblical commandment to listen to Parsha Zachar. If for whatever reason a person wasn't able to be in Shul Shabbos, they live in the city, is mamish no minyan, or whatever, there's no minyan, so then they could be Yaitz Parsha Zachar by listening to the Kriya, Purim in the morning, which also speaks about Amalek. So this Parsha is Parsha Zachar. Now there's a very interesting machlekes in halacha if women are obligated to listen to Parsha Zachar. It's a very big argument in halacha. The Minchas Chinuch Moshe, amongst many, hold women are obligated. The Torah's Chesed and a lot of other Avnei Nezer, other poskim hold, the more Chassidish poskim hold. We never saw such a thing and heard of such a thing that women go to shofar Parsha Zachar. The Pearl more and more, the minig, the Rebbe once mentioned it, would be and the minig is, the Rebbe said, not that you have to. The Rebbe said, the custom is, like the women also go to shofar Parsha Zachar. The Rebbe didn't say you have to look, women have to. He said the fact is that women go to show Parsha Zachar. What?
It's not something they would call on themselves like Shafer and they have to do.
Who is Mekabel on himself?
Women say just like a Shafer, it became a few.
Which women were Mekabel upon themselves to go Parsha Zachar?
That's what I thought I saw somewhere. I'm just asking you.
In the Shtus book. In the Shtus book.
Megillah, is that also a obligation for women to be able to do?
Megillah we're not getting to yet, but Megillah, yeah, men and women have to...
So then they could be Yitzhak, then they could be Yitzhak, like you were saying, to listen to the Kriya before, and then they listen to the Megillah.
Yeah, but we're talking about women obligated to hear Parsha Zachar.
Right.
So the way we hold, they're not obligated. They know everybody makes minyanim all over the place. But halachically, women don't have to hear Parsha Zachar. And in the Chassidish world, in our Chassidish world, women for all generations never want to show Parsha Zachar. Nowadays, it's a new thing. People go to shul for Parsha. They want to go. It's not a bad thing to do, to go to shul. In fact, Rav Nosson Adler used to make his shivcha, the Jewish housekeeper, go to shul for Parsha Zachar. And yeah, it's brought down. Rav Nosson Adler was the Rebbe of the Chassam Sefer. So he was, but the Pearl, what? What? Yeah, we're not there about Mount Gilead. Now we're talking about Parsha Zachar or Parsha Nekeva.
Step by step.
See, the reason why women don't have to go because Parsha Zachar, not Parsha Nekeva. So if we pray Parsha Nekeva, they would have to go to shul. You don't like that one? Okay.
recorded and people are going to quote you with it.
I've been quoted for worse.
Rabbi, you're in tape.
I know. I've still been quoted for worse. Okay, anyway,
Would it be right for the husbands to come home already from shul so the women could go here?
Of course.
it depends. Are they going to be missing tefillah b'tzibur? Maybe not. then maybe it's not kedai, because he has a chiyuv that's filled with tzibur. I don't know, whatever they do is, whatever they want to do, they do it. It's good. But you know what the good thing with it? It keeps people busy, organizing things. It keeps them out of trouble. And then when people are busy, they don't get into trouble. It's a fantastic thing. Okay, so that's Parsha Zachar. By the way, it does say in halacha that what happens if somebody's not able to go to shul Parsha Zachar, the women also says they can read it from a chumash. According to many poskim, the biblical obligation not necessarily to read it from a Sefer Torah. According to many poskim, you have to mention Parsha Zachar. You take a chumash and read it. You yaitz the biblical mitzvah of Parsha Zachar. In fact, there's another interesting argument. There's another din. This happens a few times. What happens if a kid's bar mitzvah Parsha is Parsha Zachar, and the kid is reading the Torah, but the kid just became bar mitzvah? So we assume he's a gadol because halachically, we assume that he had the two sides, the two hairs, and we assume that he's a. But poskim bring down that it's not kedai for a bar mitzvah kid to read Parsha Zachar. The actual kriya of Parsha Zachar, because it's a biblical mitzvah. Maybe he's not a gadol yet. Maybe he's not fully developed yet that he should be able to. So they're right. It's preferred then the bar mitzvah kid should not read Parsha Zachar, but that's only for Parsha Zachar, not for Parsha Zachedish and Shkolim and Paran. Then that's not a problem for a kid.
Stronger field than the weekly Parsha?
Weekly Parsha is Vaad Rabbonim. By the way, there's another interesting thing. The chiyuv of Kriyas HaTorah is on a tzibur, not on a yochid. That's one thing. And secondly, this is a chiyuv on an individual, Parsha Zachar. So it's a whole different.
It's very different.
Huh?
It's very different. That's very different.
What?
If you sleep in Friday, Shabbos morning, it's okay.
If you're sleeping, no, I got a lot of calls. I'll give you an example. Guys live in a place where there's no minyan Shabbos, yeah? Shluchim are out there, there's no minyan Shabbos, yeah? Do they have to pack up their family with 10 kids and go to somewhere to hear Parsha Zachar? They're going to hear it Purim morning. Are they mechuyev to go crazy? And the answer is they don't have to. They can hear it, they can hear it Purim morning. In fact, there's an interesting thing. The poskim write that it's a chiyuv to hear Parsha Zachar once a year. So they write what happens in the leap year is 13 months. So then the last Parsha Zachar was 13 months ago, not 12 months ago. So now it's more than 12 months. So some people write, some poskim write, so therefore when they read Parshas Kiseitze, and they read the Kriya of Amal, you should have in mind that it should be within a year, not more than a year for Parsha Zachar. That's what poskim write.
13 years of a year, it's a leap year.
Yeah, but it's a chiyuv every 12 months. So
Within the 12 months, or?
within the 12 months.
Is that supposed to hear the whole Parsha or just a part?
A person's supposed to hear the whole Kriya, but what's the biblical obligation is that part, the 3 psukim of Parsha Zachar. Another interesting thing, 1 second. It says other poskim hold that a kid shouldn't get maftered on Parsha Zachar. A lot of poskim say a kid should not get, a kid under bar mitzvah should not get because Parsha Zachar. But the Alter Rebbe again in Hilchos Shabbos, when he in the dinim of Haftarah, the Alter Rebbe writes that even though Parsha Zachar is min HaTorah, nevertheless a kid couldn't have Haftarah mafted. Why? Because today the minig is the Balkore reads it. It's not the cotton reading the Haftarah. By the way, in those places where they allow kids under bar mitzvah to read the Torah, a lot of the Sephardic shuls, for Parsha Zachar for sure, they can't have a kid reading the Torah. And then there's another interesting thing. Can a Sephardi hear an Ashkenazi kriya for Parsha Zachar, and can an Ashkenazi hear b'yaitza with a Sephardi kriya for Torah? So there are poskim, a lot of poskim hold that no, the Sephardim have to go here Sephardic and Ashkenazim have to hear Ashkenazi. But most poskim say, as they use the expression Eilu ve'eilu divrei kimchayim, and Ashkenazi could be Yitzhak from a Sephardi, a Sephardi could be Yitzhak. This poskim right. I know Rabbi Vaad says the Sephardim should go to Sephardic communion, Ashkenazim should go to Ashkenazi communion. But the most poskim say you could be Yitzhak, Sephardic from Ashkenazi from. You have the same question, by the way, in every Kriyas HaTorah. Every Kriyas Torah during the year, yeah? You have to listen to Kriyas Torah. Can an Ashkenazi be Yitzhak from a Sephardi? Or can a Sephardi be Yitzhak from Ashkenazi Torah reading? Or, you know, that's a different pronunciation of words. You pronounce the words differently. Yeah, but Megillah again is rabbinic. So, but the Pasuk right, it's not an issue.
It says 5 million, and they say 5 million. What does it make? My bottom line is the bottom line, no?
Machin is not my command, maybe man, Kevin Shivala, out there, one guy,